And joining us now, we have the superstar, seemingly unstoppable freshman, Hannah Hidalgo, coming off of a huge performance. Hannah, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. Second of all, you go up against UConn. You score 34 points in front of a sold-out crowd. How were you able to meet the moment yesterday in such a big way?
Yeah, well, first off, thank you guys for having me. But I would say, I think my coaches did a great job of, preparing us. It was such a quick turnaround, especially playing Syracuse and then having 1 day's rest with traveling and everything and coming and having to play UConn. But shout out to my coaches. They did a great job of preparing us and, getting us ready for to play UConn. And, my team was locked in the whole entire time.
Hannah, it seemed like you were able to get in the paint at will. You guys had 46 paint points on the day. What were you seeing that made it look so easy to attack the paint yesterday?
Yeah, so we realized that the flat screen was working really well with Maddie setting the screen, and if I drive, it collapsed, and then Maddie stayed and she popped, and Maddie started to get hot and started knocking down her three. So we saw the flat screen was working, and so we just kept going to it until they were able to stop it.
Yeah, your two-game with Maddie was phenomenal. You talked a little bit about what you were seeing. What have you seen from her, especially since she returned from injury, that has really helped be a catalyst on the offensive end for your team?
Yeah, I mean Maddie, she's super aggressive and she's so versatile. So she's a bigger guard, and it's really tough for other big players who are guarding her to come out because she has a quick first step, so she can either get all the way to the basket. She has a great mid range, and then her three is just phenomenal. So she's just all around just a tough player offensively and even defensively, just being able to play those bigger guards.
You know, Hannah, you and Maddie played all 40 minutes against Connecticut. The other player that played all 40 minutes was Sonia Citron, and I thought she was huge, but I want to let you tell it. How would you describe the impact of Sonia Citron and her presence on the floor?
Yeah, I mean, of course, Sonya gives us so much with leadership and scoring, but she even does so much more that doesn't show up on the stat sheet. I mean, she had the job of, locking down Paige and stopping her from, doing what she wants to do. And I think Paige averages around 20 points. And so for Sonya to hold her under her average, I mean, she was just so big for us. I mean, everybody was just locked in on the scout with being in help when Paige was driving and just knowing who was a shooter and who didn't shoot so well from far out. So everyone was locked in. But Sonya was so big in stopping Paige.
Early this season, Coach told us that you have a different level of edge and swag to you and your game. Where does that come from?
I think it's God given. I think God has truly just put a talent in me. He's truly blessed me, and I know it definitely wasn't always like that. I feel like I had to grow into who I am today, and I think it really started coming when I was a freshman and in high school, just playing with that kind of fire, and I think just taking each game personal and like playing it like it was my last game.
Hannah, you know another player that has a ton of edge and swag that wore a Notre Dame uniform is Skylar Diggins Smith. And
Yes.
she tweeted yesterday, the best player on the floor is a freshman while she was watching the game. And of course she was talking about you. What does it mean to you to have that kind of support from a Notre Dame great like Skylar Diggins Smith?
Yeah, I mean, it means everything. I just all around the alumni support is just fantastic. I know Coach Ivy was telling us how many people had messaged her before the game, just encouraging how many alumni was messaging her, just encouraging us and just cheering us on, and just to have somebody like Skylar Diggins who is similar to my gameplay just really means a lot. I know I talked to Skylar before the season started, and she was just telling me you need to leave the ACC in steals, and you just need to play with that fire and play with that edge. So it really means a lot to have a guard like her just to be there to encourage me.
Well, Hannah, we have seen the fire all season long. You have stepped up. I just want to let you know that I've started the campaign for you for Freshman of the Year conversation, but Player of the Year conversation as well. Keep enjoying it. It seems like you have so much fun, and thanks for joining us.
Absolutely. Thank you.